So the first thing I want to show here, and I will switch back over to this view, um, where it says the live class sessions will go right here. And the expectation is that on that Wednesday nights will be our main night for the Zoom call. The Monday session. So if we were doing this in person, I would have everyone come to class. We would discuss some things for maybe 30 minutes. And then the rest of the time, I would just have be a work session. And so that's that's especially what I would like you to do on the Monday nights. I will be available. Well, I'll get the Zoom call going. I may do some recording for whoever's here. If you want a discussion, we can do that. But the main Wednesday night is the night that I want people to join and expect that you will join in the discussions. So that's kind of my expectations with the way the calls go. So and what's interesting is this is the I've taught this class spring semester for the last 4 years, and this is the first time where they've wanted a Monday, Wednesday night call. It was normally just on Wednesday nights, with just one night a week. And so, or maybe Tuesday, it just seemed like it was one night a week. So my expectations are that you join the Wednesday session. You do not need to join the Monday session. So, and then does everyone know how to like do the raise your hand thing? So if I say, how many of you've watched my video, the introduction video? If you go to getting started, and then let's see, I can't remember exactly which page it's on. Oh, yeah, there it is. The Meet Your Instructors. Anybody watch this? Oh, we've got a couple. All right. So hopefully, hopefully that has gotten you a little bit more excited about what's going on in this design. So my philosophy with design is I started my first job in college where I was working as a designer. I worked at a screen printing shop. And so people are bringing t-shirts in every day. And I was just thinking, with just a little bit more effort, you could come up with a better design than what you've done. And I was thinking about this today. When I was in high school, um, I was on a swim team and we went to a swim meet, and the swim meet had these really cool t-shirts. I wish I had the design that they had, but it was a really cool design on the shirt. And so I bought one of the t-shirts and took it back to school. And I remember one teacher specifically saying, "Oh, the t-shirts for the swim meet this year were really cool. That's really great." And they sold out of the t-shirts because the design was really good. And then the next year we went and the design was super crappy. And I think I bought one of the t-shirts, but I didn't want to wear it because it wasn't something that that I thought was good design. And I wasn't even thinking about design at that point, but I just looked back and there was another time my family's lived in St. George since 1988, and we had an event in St. George, and we did t-shirts every year for the event. The city was putting it on, but me and my brother helped out for several years on it. And one year I was helping plan the event, and I said, "You always do these t-shirts, and the t-shirts are pretty lame. Nobody really wants the t-shirts." I said, "For just for once, when you go in to get the t-shirts done, just let the designer at the t-shirt shop do your t-shirt. Just just for fun, do let them do that because they see lots of designs coming through, and they know kind of what's popular and what people are wearing. And so they that year they let the designer do it, and they sold out of the t-shirts. And the next year they made twice as many t-shirts, but the whoever was in charge that year made up their own design, which was really poor, and they ended up uh, and I think I have one of those. I think I have one of those t-shirts because I didn't go to the event, and my brother's like, "Here, they couldn't sell any t-shirts," and so design makes a big difference. And so what this class is, and I would almost consider this a language class because what we are teaching in this class is how to communicate with people about design. And so you can see we've got the principles of design for the first section of the class for the first like 7 weeks here. And then for the last 7 weeks, we talk about the elements of design. And so um, that's what we're doing. And a lot of it is just giving you the vocabulary to discuss with people about designs. And we're focusing more on art for um, this for this class. I mean the book, and I let's see, what did I do with that? So we'll pull up the book. This is the design basics that, and I am not sure what the cheapest way to get this book. If you want a physical copy of the book, you can go to the bookstore. Um, and they have used this edition for as long as I've been teaching this class, and the price really hasn't gone down. I also in the past at Salt Lake Community College have taught a business class, and they were changing that book every couple of years. And I would tell the students, just go get the old book because it's exactly the same. But they've used this book forever. And so these design principles really are a lot like math. They don't really change. And so they can use the same book for a long time. So as you go through these, most of they've got they're just talking about art. But one of the things I want you to think about as we talk about the design process in this class, that's the one of the things you can use this design process just in about any let's see, you can use this design process in just about anything you're trying to do. So from either, if you're trying to do a project or you're doing software design, things that don't really have anything to do with art, you can still use this same uh, you can just still use this same uh, the principles that we teach you in this class. We'll go back to this homepage here. But uh, these same principles that we're teaching through that can help you with your design process. So part of the design process is you need to come up with an idea at the beginning. And this is where there's digital tools out there, and I encourage you to use digital tools except for the first step of this process, which is trying to come up with the design. For every project that you do in this class, I want you to get out a pencil or a pen and some paper and sketch. Now, some of you in this class are phenomenal artists, and it amazes me every semester we've got students that are just really good at sketching. So do not be intimidated by those students. Just sketch out the stuff. Just get your pen and your paper out and come up with ideas first on paper. I think this is such a critical process. Like if you're building a building, you've got to come up with blueprints, and the first stuff is, you know, really rough sketches that people come up with for their design ideas. And so you can get ideas through that process of just coming up with the sketching. So sketching, if I don't see, this is one of the ways that you will lose points on assignments is if I don't see your sketching process. And as you evaluate which design you're going to use, And so I want to see that process. I want to see the process from your sketching all the way to your finished design. So that's important to me because this is whether you're taking this class as an elective for some other major or you're an art and design student, this process of doing the sketching first and then eliminating that and figuring out what you're going to do, the whole planning process is just critical. So I know an artist that um, known him for quite a while. I took classes from him when I was down at Utah Tech, and he gets, well, the last time I talked to him, which was almost 15 years ago, he was getting eight to $10,000 to do a portrait for someone. And then if he was doing a like 18 by 24 painting, he would get anywhere from 30 to $50,000 for that. And I talked to him about this process, and he said that the more time he spent kind of on the preliminary steps of doing the sketching and kind of figuring that stuff out, he said sometimes a portrait, he said he can do a portrait in 3 days if he went through the preliminary steps. But if he got in a rush and he didn't do the preliminary steps, he said sometimes it would take him over a month. And so this is just the way he did it with paintings. And so, and to make that kind of money, I asked him, I said, how did you get started? And he said, well, my dad was an artist and I have a brother who's an artist. And so so I knew it was possible to make a living doing art. And then he said, but the first 10 years of his career, he spent 10 hours a day, 6 days a week painting landscapes, like Western landscapes. And I don't know if I've ever seen any of his art that is that is any of those landscapes. All I saw was his more recent stuff. And I still see his artwork around. So um so I use that as just an anecdotal experience about how important the process is that you work through coming up. The creativity and the ideas will come as you work through these sketches. And if you do some research on Picasso, Picasso did the same type of thing. It's interesting. His like sketching sketches now are like $10,000 a piece or something. But I've seen where he's done a whole series of things, and it's funny to see because they hang them up in museums like it was that was the idea, but I can just tell that he was working out these ideas for whatever his final painting was going to be, and this would just be like in black charcoal. So I'm gonna push that pretty hard. So one of the things that let's see if it's here. So to submit most of your work, there's a free Google account, and I mean you can Select used to provide the Google accounts, but they don't provide those anymore. But they do provide Office 365, and we'll talk about that in a second. But um, a lot of what you submit in this class will be zipped up into a folder. But let's actually look at Office 365. So if you go to just look up Office 365, and then this process, you can log into Office 365 with your just through, and maybe you can do it through my SLCC, but this is where I've got, and you can see all the apps that you have access to, and you can install Microsoft Office from right here. So some of you may be already going into Outlook. We'll go into Outlook so you can see what Outlook looks like. And so if you're in the Outlook view, you can click on the 9 dots up there, the little Rubik's Cube, whatever you want to call that. And this will push you over into this page. And then you can look here. Oh, where did I'm trying to get back to that. Oh, there it is. Just go to the home, and then this is where you can install your Word and Excel and everything in there. And you, with your Slick account, you can install that on up to 5 computers, fully licensed Microsoft Office products. So one of the things too is being connected with Salt Lake Community College. Um, you have, if you go on campus, you can get an EduRoam account. Well, it's not really EduRoam account. It's you get with your Slick um, Slick subscription or with your Slick ID, you can get connected to EduRoam. And what's really cool about EduRoam is every state school, so this is elementary schools, junior highs, high schools. If you go there, you can connect to EduRoam through that. Another really cool thing is if you are on Trax or FrontRunner. I don't know so much about Trax, but I know for sure FrontRunner because I've done this before. Is you can get on FrontRunner and you can connect to EduRoam through, so you can, so it's a like a secure connection that you can use on FrontRunner to access school stuff. Let's see if we, oh, this is so something that is becoming that students are using more is you can use OneDrive and you can share folders in OneDrive as your assignment. So it's connected that way, and so you can either share something out of Google Drive, or you can share it through OneDrive. So here is my files, and then you can see I've got all these folders, but you can make one of these folders into a, you can create a folder just like I've done here for 1120, and then you can just share one of these. So right here, this comes up and you can put view, and you can share this. Let's see. See, here's one that says people with Salt Lake Community College. You can apply that, and then everyone, then you can share those links in in the assignments. Now, some of them are discussions, and so you want to make sure that other students can see what you're submitting, and so you can give feedback on. And we call it critiques, but I'm going to call it feedback. You can give feedback on other people's assignments. That's part of the that's part of the process for the design is you as you're working through this creative process, you need to get feedback from other people to find out if what you're trying to communicate um, is getting through the way you want it to. So we all need feedback from people to help us understand how other people perceive what we're doing. So back to the there is a lot of support at Salt Lake Community College. And so if you want some help writing something, they've got you've got online tutoring here. You've got um, all kinds of resources to help out with what you're doing. And I'm looking for the Creative Cloud. Oh, here we go. Oh, there's some more. looking to see. So that's something they've added in. So just so you understand, Virag White is the full-time professor that comes up with the content for this class. And so she changes this. This is the first semester where she's actually put Canva as an option. So, so we've got Canva. That this can help you. Um, Maybe not a whole lot in this class, but in other classes. So this is something because I'm also teaching the web design class this semester, and I wanted to make some changes, and so I came in here and was creating some of the buttons for that class through Canva. But so one of the things with Canva and your student ID is you can get verified as a student, and then you can get access to the pro features in Canva. So that's one of the cool things here. Oh, we've got some Google Drive training. Let's see, I'm looking for the Creative Cloud. We'll just bring up mine. Let's go to, so as a Salt Lake Community College student, you have access to a free Creative Cloud license. So, and Creative Cloud is so you can log in here through Adobe and then download the apps. So it's showing the apps here that I have installed, and then it shows all of the other apps that you can install here. And there, oh, and there's even more. Oh, this one. So Adobe XD is a design tool that Adobe came up with, but there's several other products out there that are superior to XD, and so Adobe has stopped. They call it maintenance mode, but they're not doing any more development on that, but it's still out there. So, and then once you install Creative Cloud, it looks like this. And then if you see here, like when I dropped down, it said uh, monthly generative credits. And I think this is mostly for Adobe Express. So if you've used Canva, there's Canva here, but then Adobe Express I'll open another. And it's funny, the first time I saw Adobe Express, I actually thought it was Canva. I don't know why I do not know why it's giving me. It's funny, I'm going to push this right up against my Canva. But it looks really similar. So they've got their generate AI stuff. And this is showing their designs here instead of like Canva is showing, oh, here's my stuff. Some of the stuff that I've been working on. What's interesting is this that they've pulled in. This is several years ago that I was working on some of these things. And so they've pulled in a lot of, yeah, you could see 3 years ago. So they've pulled in some of the stuff that I've got put into Lightroom. So what's interesting is the self-portrait mask right here. This was generated through AI um, in Adobe Express. Same with this cat here. Just things I was messing around with. Oh, this is actually for the final project in this class. It's grading for last semester. So make sure you take advantage of the Creative Cloud license that you've got here. So looks to see what they're doing for ePortfolio. Do any of you here have a Digication account? I don't know if, yeah, if you've been around for a while, you may have a Digication. So this is something that they're phasing. Salt Lake Community College is phasing that out, and they are moving to SharePoint. So so here's the SharePoint site that I was working on. This has been a while back, but the SharePoint is the ePortfolio version now that Salt Lake Community College is doing, and so they will have some help here, and they have a if you want to go on campus. Oh, they've got so they have it. I didn't know that they had one in the South City campus, but they for the Redwood Road Taylorsville campus, they've had that there for a while, and it's cool. They've got them in two more locations too, so you can actually go in and get help with this, or you can get online help from these people. So one other thing that I wanted to show you as students. So current students, you can go here and then you can go to the library. And on the library, they've got, especially if you're trying to do research, they've got some good research here. But they also have, let's see, where is, looking for, that's not what I want. And they changed this. The Salt Lake Community College has regular books that you can log out, that you can check out. One time there's a there was a book that came out that was popular. It was called The Hillbilly Elegy, and they've made a movie out of it. And when it first came out, I wanted to read it, and so I went to the Salt Lake County Library, and there were like 150 holds or something like that on it. And I looked at the Salt Lake City Library, same type of a thing. And then I went to the Slick Library, and I was able to get the book, and there wasn't any holds there. they had the book too, and so I was able to check it out and read it from the. Maybe I need to be logged in to do this. But they used to have, and maybe they're not doing it anymore. I'll have to find out. I'll find out from Wednesday. But there was an ebook publication where you could get technical books like how to use Photoshop and different things like that, online books. So, but it does not look like it used to look. So I will find out about that. So I think this is it for the first night. I just wanted to get this recorded and then I'll put it out there. I'll add another link here to the page where it'll have we'll start to schedule. I'll have a schedule of where with the Zoom meetings, and then it'll have the recordings posted so you can watch those after. So does anyone have any questions? Oh, there's one other thing I should mention. Let me find that. At Oh, I just posted it in the announcements. Let's check it out in the announcements. Oh, I don't have it. So this will come out in an announcement, but there is a class kit that you can get at Blick in Sugar House. I think you can have it shipped to you. You can call them and find out. But there's a PDF, and this is getting posted on Wednesday. But you can get $114. It's 115 for this kit. That if you were going to buy all the stuff separately, it'd be 155. So Blick does that for us every semester, and the kit is specifically for this class. And so if you ask for it, there's several other, and I don't know if the other teachers even are offering this, but this is something that because I have changed this a couple of times, and so just know that this is coming out, and so but there's a limited number of those. There's actually not enough for every student in the class. So some of you, I'm assuming, are art majors and probably have all of the supplies anyway. And so you don't need to buy supplies for this class if you've already got them. So I think that's it for what I wanted to talk about today. Appreciate everyone joining, and then I will send out another announcement on Wednesday with the new link and then that link will also be listed here for the rest of the classes for the semester. So I'm expecting everyone to join on Wednesday. The Monday is 7 to 9 is a working session. And so if you have questions or want to talk to me about something that's happening, if you're having some kind of a difficulty with the technology or something, I can help out with that too. So thanks everyone for joining, and we will see you on Wednesday.